What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the new and improved Casual KO. Starting to do more content with it. Going to try to put more information out, making the slides, putting the extra effort and energy into it. Why not do more than just one show towards the end of the week like we usually do, right? As you know, the co-host is Australian. It's hard to coordinate. Just so happens we can barely get these out in time. So I want to do kind of like a rapid fire pick scenario where you can at least get my ideas, right? I've been doing pretty good. I've been on a little bit of a heater lately. Um, Most people talking units. I personally don't use units. I think people lie about their units all the time, right? Um, so if we were gonna do units, my units are like $10. Okay, I'm not a wealthy dude by any means, but I'm starting to really figure out this betting stuff. And it's no coincidence because I'm spending a lot more time looking at the stats, watching tape, and it's fairly straightforward. Obviously, it's a fight, anything can happen, but you can really kind of pick up on things that you're comfortable with, finding these parlays. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing something that's referred to as the ladder challenge by some. Forget the guy's name. But I follow him on Instagram. He started this thing from what I understand, and he's the guy that he calls himself Mr. Plus Money. I think that's what it is, Mr. Plus Money. Um, he does like the bag, plus money bag, like all this stuff. Um, he did this thing where he took $100, bet that into 250, 250 to 650, 650 to like 1,000, and then 2,000, 5,000. It just goes, it exponentially grows, right? I took 40, turned that into 111 without missing. That 111 go to 297 and 10 cents. Now, as someone that I just mentioned having $10 units, I've got to take 29 units and turn that into what I hope will be 40 units. I'm up 50 units last week. Again, if we're doing the unit thing, I don't play that game. But I'll tell you right now, I would not feel comfortable throwing down like $100 units on just like every fight, right? The only reason that I'm doing such a high bet this week is because it's part of what I'm calling the Eiffel Tower. Most people call it the ladder, but this is going to be the rapid fire thing. I'm going to be doing this every Monday of fight week. And then we'll get deeper into it. Nick will not be here this week. It'll be Alex from Profit Picks, and we're going to do that Wednesday night. Hopefully have something out, more of a deep dive for you Thursday morning. And if you've been seeing the slides that I've been working on, there's a lot of information in those. A lot of people do great work with the graphics on their YouTube channels and all this stuff. I'm trying to break into the game and see what we can do, see how we can compete with some of these people that don't, in my opinion, put as much effort out there as some. So we're gonna just have some fun. I'm fully expecting for these videos to have 10 views for weeks to come, which is weird. If you know me, if you follow me, Dangerous World Podcast is my main thing. It's a successful conspiracy podcast. And so I don't want to drag this out too long, but it's going to be strange seeing like 10 views on YouTube videos. I don't mess with YouTube much because not too friendly to people like me, people that want to talk about little I'm doing a hand motion here, little jabby jabs, things like that, certain politicians, certain policies. That's not safe to talk about. So, this is much more friendly content. For some reason, seeing arms get broken and punching people in the face is safer to talk about than politics and conspiracies. Strange, weird world that we're living in, but nonetheless, it's the game we're playing, man. So in the upcoming episode this week, I'm going to have two slides. This week, for this episode, you're going to see the same slide that I used with Nick last week. Now, this is going to be in OBS soon. Again, cracking into it here, okay? Bear with me. This is what we're going to go off of right now. And we're actually going to start with the first fight of the night, obviously. Okay, Montserrat Rendon versus Tamires Vidal. On a sketchy card, this is one of the fights that I'm more confident in. I'm all in on Tamires Vidal. She will be part of this will be the fourth leg of the Eiffel Tower Challenge, taking 29 units. Again, don't know how I feel about it. I'd rather just pocket it, but it's the game. It's the game we play. $297 and change, and going to be trusting Tamires Vidal with it. I don't like trusting women's MMA, especially kind of lower level like this, but this is a sketchy card to put, like I said, normal amounts that I would not be comfortable with here. But I think that she outclasses Montserrat here in this. Montserrat's only gone to decision in her 5 fights. She is 5-0. Couple split decisions. Seems like some of those split decisions, all of them, were maybe a gift. She's an attractive girl. She's shredded. Maybe they're trying to kind of build her a little bit, and she's getting some decisions that she should not. She does have 3 unanimous decision victories. I'm not impressed, though. The older woman by like 10 years. Just all the directions are pointing to the harder hitting woman who has scored a knockout in her first UFC fight. I think she's an athletic girl. There's kind of a debate out there about that. But yeah, I think she goes in there and just, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she knocked out the older chick here. I appreciate an older woman, but 35 or 38, whatever she is too old to be debuting in the UFC. Now, maybe she goes out there and she proves me wrong. But I hope she doesn't, because like I said, very confident in Vidal, and she will be part of my Eiffel Tower there. And that sounds weird if you think of the Eiffel Tower in a different way. Moving on, strawweight bouts, the second fight of the night here. Mizuki, we'll just call her Mizuki, versus Hannah Goldie. Hannah Goldie coming in as the only fans dog here. We got more data to go off of, though, with the UFC numbers and whatnot. Pretty comparable, right, when you look at these, but the amount of fighting that's been done, the Hannah Goldie getting knocked out by Patty's chick is not good, right? It's a bad look. But I don't know. This is tough here. I think Mizuki's been gone for about 3 years. I'm not confident in this pick at all. If we're talking 1-5 being confident, I'm a 1 that Mizuki gets this done. But she should have improved over her time off. Hannah Goldie kind of seems halfway in, OnlyFans halfway in, MMA fighting. And she's definitely going to have the power. She's going to have a lot going for her in this. But I will be going with kind of a boring decision, kind of a grindy fight with Mizuki coming out on top. Not confident. I'd stay away from it. Now, this fight, oddly, I am somewhat convinced with. Again, sketchy card. You got Jake Collier, who used to fight at middleweight. I know everyone says that. But this is a heavyweight fight, and you can tell kind of some weird boob action going on in Collier there. Makes me a little uncomfortable, a little pointy. But you got that big old hunk of a man going against Muhammad Usman, the brother of Kamaru Usman here, obviously. The records are night and day different. Competition level is very different. 13-9 for Jake Collier. 9-2 for Muhammad Usman. I was actually impressed with the really, really boring performance that Muhammad put on against the younger, more athletic Tafa brother. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do. He took a shot or two from Tafa too. I think Tafa hits a whole lot harder than Jake Collier does. I know that Collier is going to be the better boxer, but I'm going to be putting Muhammad Usman in the second leg of my parlay. 2 pretty chalky favorites. But again, if you're going with something like this, in my opinion, you want to go with more secure picks, and on a sketchy card, the line is a lot closer than I think it should be. There's quite a bit of value. The takedown defense of Collier is 67%, but with a strong dude like Muhammad Usman, I think he's going to get him down to the ground 1 or 2 times, and that's all it's going to take. I think he might do some ground and pound down there. I think he can actually get something done on the, I think, very out of shape Collier. And it's easy to say that looking at him. His cardio is surprising, though. But give me Muhammad Usman. My confidence is a 4. And it sucks that I can't be any higher than that in a situation like this when I got some money riding on it. But yeah, Vidal and Usman are confident picks so far. Moving on along to a middleweight bout, Jacob Malkoun versus Cody Brundage. And this is an easy Malkoun spot for me. The records, again, look so different. 7-2 versus 8-5. Cody Brundage looked extremely disappointing against Cedric Dumas. And it's easy to say that because I'm not a Josh Freem dude, but Josh Freem went out there and made Cedric Dumas look like he doesn't even belong in the UFC. If he doesn't belong in the UFC, then Cody Brundage should have never even been in the UFC. He looked bad against Dumas, almost to where I was wondering if maybe something was wrong. Watch some other tape. Nothing's wrong. That's how he fights. So you look at the numbers here on this first stat, 1.79 strikes thrown. These guys are both wrestlers. There's no reason that Jacob Malkoun should be almost quadrupling. We'll say doubling here. Doubling the strikes of a fellow wrestler. I think Malkoun's the better wrestler. So he's the more well-rounded fighter. It's no surprise he is a 530 favorite, minus 530. He's going to be in my third leg, third leg here, and we'll see what we're at so far. I use FanDuel, by the way. I love the props. I love doing prop betting. But with that so far, we are in fairly good plus money. And unless I find something later in the week, that's all that I'm going to do. And that will turn my, hit the damn red robin button here, $297 and $10 will turn into $496 with that bet. It's at a plus 167. I'm comfortable with that. That's what I was at last week. These are the three fights that I'm most confident in this week. And it's a shame because, I mean, there's some other spots I'd like to be on. I wouldn't pull the trigger on that necessarily unless you feel confident in it yourself. But there's some other spots out here that I might add to that or replace because I'm fairly confident in Usman. I said as a 4, it's not a 5. Vidal's honestly kind of like a 4.5 for me. Not 100% there with the younger but bigger Usman brother. But give me Malkoun here. Very confident, and the odds reflect that you should be confident in that kind of thing. Now, this next fight, it's the welterweight bout here with Tim Means, the Dirty Bird, right, versus Andre Fialho. This is such a trap of a fight, I feel like. Fialho's chin is not to be trusted. Tim Means is getting there with that chin. He is like 10 years older than Andre Fialho. 35 and 15, that's a lot of wear and tear on the body. Yes, this dude is gritty. He's tough. He'll fight for your money. I don't know if that chin will anymore, though. He used to have a pretty good chin. Now it's fading pretty rapidly. Andre Fialho, it seems like he's got 3 minutes to finish a fighter. And I don't know if Tim Means is that guy. You know what I mean? This is so hard for me to do, but I think I'm going to pick Tim Means here. Goes against everything that I really kind of believe in. Usually the younger fighter gets this done, but Fialho, I heard someone say that he's like Robbie Lawler with the beginning and the end of the career gone. You know, like the worst parts, like the Nick Diaz, Brian Barberina version of Lawler. Lawler's obviously a legend. I don't think Fialho will ever get there, man. I don't think that chin is going to get better. Takedown accuracy 0. You know he's going to just stand and try and bang. I think Tim Means might try and take him down here and might try and work him a little bit. I think that's a pretty clear path to victory, a gritty decision. Not confident in it. This is a 2 for me. I'm more confident than our second fight of the night there. But yeah, man, we'll move right along here because this is one that I think people should stay away from. Going inside the distance might be good, but I don't. Yeah, let me change my thing there. My pick. I'm gonna go from a decision. Because I could see these guys kind of like staying away from each other after that onslaught of Fialho, but going inside the distance, especially if you get a 2.5 line, that'd be more of a move than taking a side here. Next up, bantamweight division fight here: Miles Johns versus Dan Argueta. I'm on the Argueta side, not super confident, but I think he's a better wrestler. I think he's going to be able to get this done. Miles Johns likes to strike, right? His accuracy of 19% takedowns, great takedown defense at 92%, but everything to me is really on the Argueta side. Less fight time, implying that there's more finishes. Yes, he has been finished once. I believe he's been finished once. I know he's obviously got one loss, but this is what you got to kind of, when it's a tough fight and you're obviously trying to make picks, you got to pick one side or the other. This is going to be a great fight, I think, but I'm going to go with Dan Argueta for sure here. Not much to say on it. Not confident. Give me a 1 or a 2 on the confidence level. Moving on. Charles Jourdain versus Ricardo Ramos. This is a fun fight too. This could be fight of the night. A couple featherweights going at it here, and I'm Charles Jourdain all day on this. He's not going to make it to my parlay, but I am confident he's going to get this done, like 3, 4, something like that. But I think he pulls this off against Ricardo Ramos. Canadian MMA seems to be taking a little bit of a turn. I used to automatically fade Canadians, and I stopped doing that at the Canadian card, right? I had like a parlay of just all of them losing and not one of them hit, obviously. So I think that the UFC knows what they're doing here. They're trying to set up the people that have potential to become stars in Canada. The Charles Jourdains of the world, the Jasmine Jasudavicius. Yeah, I get it, but that was a legitimate test. Tracy, a lot of people thought she was going to beat Tracy Cortez. But you gotta kind of think about it. Mexico or Canada, who's more exciting right now? It's Mexico, hands down. That was a coin flip of a fight, though. I was on the Cortez side and wasn't confident enough to put her in a parlay or anything like that, but I did bet on her by points specifically because both those women only fight to points, and ended up getting some good plus money on that. So put like 3 or 4 units on there and enjoyed that quite a bit. So my point in saying all that is I think that they want people like Charles Jourdain to win. Bellator, or not Bellator, freaking, what's that other one that I can't stand? PFL. They're even kind of understanding this with OAM, right? You've got some incredible Canadian talent, and I think that they're trying to match them up accordingly. So give me Jourdain, give me knockout. Let's go. Let's try and get some finishes here. Not much of a finisher, but an exciting fighter. So let's go. Charles Jourdain. Another fight that I was considering, and we'll see what it'll make the odds. Brian Battle versus AJ Fletcher. I am on the Battle side here. Not super confident, but confident enough to where I would consider putting him into this parlay that I'm working on. He's a minus 200 favorite right now. That'll triple my money, you know. But I'm comfortable where I'm at. This is a risky spot. Both these guys are finishers, man. Both these guys like to fight, whether they're getting finished or they're finishing. They like to keep the fight exciting. And obviously, this average UFC fight time was considerably dropped down in Brian Battle's last fight, where it was a 14-second knockout. Great stuff. I mean, the guy showed he had a chin. I think he's got AJ Fletcher just about everywhere. His takedown defense is not great. But AJ Fletcher's takedown accuracy isn't good either. I think Brian Battle on the feet all day. So we'll go Brian Battle knockout somewhere around round 2. That's what I'm going with right here. Moving on up the card, strawweight bouts, strawweight fighters here. Marina, is it Rodriguez or Rodriguez? I think she's Brazilian. So we'll go Rodriguez. Rodriguez versus the karate hottie, man, Michelle Waterson. This is a lot closer of a fight than people think. I am going to go with Marina Rodriguez. But, you know, Michelle Rodriguez is more of a wrestler. I'm sorry. Yeah, Michelle Waterson Gomez. Confusing right there. But Michelle Waterson is a wrestler. She calls herself the karate hottie. I don't know if that's like the Greenland, Iceland thing where the Vikings name Greenland green instead of ice because, you know, they want people to go there. They want people staying away from Iceland. So let's call it Iceland, even though it's green and beautiful there. I don't know if that's the kind of tactic she's taken here, but it makes sense because the girl can wrestle. She's decent at wrestling. The 33% takedown accuracy doesn't imply that she would actually be a good wrestler, but she is. I think more so than karate for sure. Marina Rodriguez is fading, man, and a lot of people are saying that Michelle Waterson is old. She's a year older than Rodriguez, maybe a year and a half if we're going to get real technical about it. 37 to 36, if I'm remembering correctly. Marina Rodriguez is fading big time. Big time. So for the sake of maybe getting some dog money here, I'm going to go Michelle Waterson. We've seen how women's MMA has been where you just kind of blindly take the underdog. You're going to be up. I hope that's not the case with my other 2 fights of the night. But yeah, we'll be on the Michelle Waterson side here. Bad record, but you know, she's not afraid to fight anybody. She'll get in there with just about anybody. And Marina Rodriguez doesn't seem like she likes getting hit. Doesn't seem like she's as gritty. Seems very slow. I'm not impressed at all from the last few outings of Rodriguez. I bet heavy against her in the Limoges fight, and Limoges looked like shit the last time she fought, right? So yes, it was against the champ, but I mean, there's levels to this stuff, and it's very obvious when you compare somebody like Marina Rodriguez to Amanda Limoges, and then Amanda Limoges to the champ. Not impressed, and I think that these 2 ladies are very equally matched. So I'll go with the dog. And she's a fairly sizable dog, plus 250 right now on FanDuel for Michelle Waterson. Let's go. Let's see something exciting here on this card. Not that that's going to be the exciting fight, but just a nice upset right there would be kind of cool. Now, this one's pretty interesting to me, too. A couple featherweights going at it here. Bryce Mitchell versus Dan Ige. Bryce Mitchell, man, I'm a fan. Like, I like what he stands for. I just mentioned I'm, you know, a conspiracy guy for those that don't know. Bryce Mitchell, fun dude. Flat earther. I'm not a flat earther. I don't really know what the hell we live on. I think it's more of like a box or like a dodecahedron or something. If the debate is round or flat, it's probably neither. Okay. But for the sake of this, man, I'm going to go Bryce Mitchell. I want to bet him so bad, but he won't be in my parlay. The dude has gone through a little bit lately with that girlfriend of his breaking up. She sounds crazy too. Bryce Mitchell had that giant purple shoulder last time. He seemed like he was really distraught after his first ever loss to who I think can be a future champ. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull off the victory against Volkanovski, but again, if he does, the UFC cover curse is very real. All three of those individuals losing their belts. I'm on the Bryce Mitchell side, but if Dan Ige can defend some takedowns, he's got good takedown defense. Bryce Mitchell doesn't even try to throw, right? You look at his numbers, 2.48 strikes thrown per minute, or landed per minute, rather. 3.96 for Dan Ige. There's power behind those punches, too. I don't call him 50K for no reason. The dude doesn't lose to bad fighters, and he beats some pretty good fighters. Honestly, I'm actually a fan of Nate Landwehr. I think he's really underrated. Dude just knocks people out, and Bryce Mitchell kind of showed that he will quit. I know he said that he was sick last time, but I'm worried about the headspace. I'm worried about some of the things that I see from Bryce Mitchell, but I'm on that side because he's just such a damn good wrestler. He's slick with the jiu-jitsu. Anytime he can pull a twister off in the UFC, I'm impressed with your ground game. Not that matters to any of these people, but give me Bryce Mitchell. Not confident. Literally, like, if you go 50-50, I'm at like 54, 55 with Bryce Mitchell. But A, I like him. B, I think he's got that huge gap in skill on the ground. But again, Dan Ige has a massive gap on the feet. So this is a classic grappler versus striker, just like our main event. And we'll move on. But yes, Bryce Mitchell all day. Now this is a great fight, especially for a little card like this. Really good fight. I'm a Rafael Fiziev fan. What's his nickname? Like the Ottoman or something? I always think of Ottoman, like the Ottoman Empire there. But I mean, this is the previous fight, but like turned all the way up to 11. This is a great grappler versus striker matchup. Obviously, the striker being Gamrot. I'm just kidding. Obviously, the striker here is Fiziev. Tiger Muay Thai coach, if I'm not mistaken. Dude knows how to throw hands and is quick. I mean, he gets in and out. He's got solid takedown defense. Look at that 90% takedown defense. Wild numbers there. Similar to Mataush. I don't know if you call it Mataush or Matus. Unless I made a typo there, they are both very great at keeping it on the feet, keeping it where they want to go. Obviously, Gamrot not opposed to going to the ground, but I don't think he wants to be taken there by anyone. He wants to do the taking down. And I just see a lot here that favors Rafael Fiziev. Essentially, we'll call it doubling up the strikes of Gamrot. Excuse me, 5.06 to 3.03. With that 5.05. Is it 5.06? Sorry, it's a little small for me. 5.06. And these aren't shitty strikes. These are tight strikes. The guy's very good at not getting hit unless he's fighting Justin Gaethje. He fought a great wrestler in RDA, defended quite a few takedowns there. I think RDA only landed 2 or 3 and shot considerably more than that. I'm Rafael Fiziev all day here, and I think he could get a finish over Mataush. I mean, Beneil dropped Mataush bad, right? That was one of the cleanest punches I'd ever seen. And if Benny can hit him like that, I think Fiziev's going to just beat the shit out of this dude, potentially for 5 rounds. But I don't know if the power of Fiziev is going to let Gamrot stick around for 5 rounds. I think that the first couple rounds could go to Gamrot, but Fiziev's going to catch him with something. I think I'm kind of envisioning like 2 really grapple heavy rounds, but Fiziev's not as outclassed as we might think. And then 3rd, 4th round, I think Fiziev pops something in there that just drops him. And I see a ground and pound finish. Club and sub will be wild against somebody like Gamrot, but that's kind of what I'm seeing there, guys. I said I wanted to keep this short. Obviously a little longer than I had anticipated. This is the first one of these, though. Going to be doing these rapid fires every single week. Look for more coming out throughout the week. We're going to definitely do the regular show. As I said, Nick's not going to be here. I did catch up to his ass pretty significantly in our competition. I'm going to be doing that with Alex this coming week. So you guys will see on Wednesday evening, Thursday night, depending on when you want to watch. But please, do the whole thing all the annoying YouTubers do. Like the video, subscribe, share it, do all that stuff. Trying to grow this to a decent size so that, we can have some fun and maybe, in the future make websites. I'm not trying to charge for any of this stuff. Like I said, I have a podcast that makes money. I have a job actually in the fight industry here. So not going to charge for anything, just going to talk about bets. Maybe we can do like an email list or something with some picks and some advice, but yeah, just having fun right now. So enjoy the work. Hopefully you guys like the slides. If there was any incorrect information, sorry, sometimes I'm drinking a little bit when I'm making these slides. So it is what it is, but all those stats are from UFCstats.com. So you can check this out yourself. And yeah, there'll be more information coming out on Wednesday, much more deep dives. This will be like hour and a half, 2.5 hour long episodes as usual. So thank you so much, guys. I hope that you enjoy it. There's tons of content like this out there, but why not have more? UFC is so damn fun. So, and I might actually mention on the Wednesday episode some of the BKFC stuff. I can't bet on that stuff at all, but it's fun. And the matchmaking is great over there. The matchmaking last week was obviously pro Mexico. You're not really seeing that too much at all in BKFC. You see really, really well thought out matchups, and it's a freaking growing sport, man. It's gonna be, I truly believe, number 2 fairly soon. So something to kind of check out at the very end if you're into that kind of stuff. But until next time, guys, thank you for checking out this first little rapid fire episode. We'll talk to you next time. Take care.